So, does class size really matter? Well, I'm going to dive into one of the main issues what large class sizes have on a university campus and its student life. We're going to look at this issue from two perspectives. First, from the professors, and then also from the students. And then we're going to look at solutions for those issues. So, the first problem we're going to look at from the professor's POV. So, a lot of colleges have professors at the universities who are not there necessarily to educate students and further their careers and ambitions, but they're actually there to do research for their own fields and studies. They're there to write scholarly papers and write these articles for these universities. That's what they get paid to do, not necessarily to teach. It's just a requirement for being at the university. So an issue that this comes with is that these professors put teaching these students on the back burner. They don't care as much. And the larger the universities, the less they care, the less connection they have with those students. And that is where the relationship issue comes at hand. Secondly, that also comes from an Educated Quest article. Secondly, uh, professors argue in a San Diego State research paper that because of these large class size, they have to simplify their testing methods for the curriculum. A lot of this is because they have so many students that to grade all the papers and they have to use scantrons and multiple choice testing. And they think that devalues the education because the testing format is simplified and you can't get a good, so to say, scale of how much the student actually knows and their knowledge in the field. And another issue that this comes with is that students, when it's simplified like this, are not there necessarily to help further their education because it is just maybe a multiple choice test and they don't pursue office hours as much and things like that. And again, the relationship between the student and professor is hampered because of that. So now we're going to look at this from the student perspective. So one of the main things is the larger the classroom, the more fear that students sometimes have in participating. I know this by myself. I have participated a lot more frequently in classes that had a smaller student number than the ones that had hundreds. It's just you have a fear of being judged by your peers and things like that. And that's where another issue is. And what this leads to, a Vanderbilt study concluded, was that by this fear of participating, then class is not engaging, the connection between professors and students is not there. And not even only that, but from student to student, it's also not there because you're talking less, you're not engaging with one another, and thus there's no really connection. So what are some solutions to these issues? Well, firstly, you could just simply decrease the number of students that your university accepts. A lot of universities are scared to do this because the monetary value that a student brings in to the university, that is what, it's not a priority to them, but they want that, they need that. What they don't understand is that by capping how many students you let in, you're creating a threshold that students have to meet to get there. And by doing so, you um, you have a more limited classroom sizes, smaller classrooms, better engaging, better relationships. And not only that, the prestige of your university increases because it's harder to get into. That is how schools like Harvard and Yale established such a prestigious education, is because they didn't just accept anyone. And people have to realize that. These universities have to realize that. So secondly, you can also look into more on who the professors you are hiring and what are their priorities. Are they there to try to make a quick buck and just further their own career? Or are they also there to help further students' careers? That is something that I feel like is not talked about a lot. Is there's so many professors who are just there for the money, the salary, and the payment they can get by being a university professor, and they're not there to care and form an actual relationship and help out these up and coming ambitious students. And through these two solutions, we can help monitor and solve the ever growing class size problem at universities. Thank you.